Weather Day. We are continuing our first alert weather day coverage for you. Our Maria Cade has been out on the road since about 4:30 this morning. She joins us now live with the latest on the conditions from Storm Tracker. Maria, tell us where you are now and what you're seeing now.
Good morning, Cerise. We just got off of Highway 275 near Waterloo, coming up on Blondo Street. We just passed by a truck, a semi-truck, two actually, that were stalled in the middle of the lane as we were heading over in this direction. There are two trucks. The one was completely blocking the eastbound lanes heading on Dodge, so you definitely want to keep that in mind if that is in your commute for the morning. Keep that in mind. We're going to try and make our way back around. It looks like there are some other stalled vehicles up here as we make our way back onto 275 here. Some police cars as well, some troopers it looks like, that have this area blocked off a little bit. The cars are making their way down 275 but at a really slow pace, so we're going to come up on this road and see if there is anything going on here. Again, it looks like there is one car stalled that is stopped, and those police vehicles are also there as well. Maybe this might just be a warning to those two trucks that are coming up. As you make your way down 275, again, that's heading eastbound. Two different trucks that are stalled, the one completely blocking in the middle of those lanes, so definitely keep that in mind. Other than that, though, the main roads that we're seeing are pretty good as far as driving conditions go. The wind has not been picking up too much snow and blowing it around compared to what we saw early this morning when we first started heading out here in the storm tracker, but the side streets, the more rural outskirt areas of the metro, that's where we saw a lot of those problems. So keep that in mind if you are making your way out this morning. Give yourself some extra time and take your time as you make your way out. Cerise?
All right, Maria Cade reporting. We sure appreciate the coverage this morning. We've seen a lot of stalls, unfortunately, this morning. So we have some good news and some not great news. So the good news is the snow is wrapping up.
Yeah.
The not great news is that wind is not.
That's relentless.
Yeah.
The falling snow's pretty much done. There's a couple little light bands on the radar, but overall, not a big issue there. The wind continues to howl, though, and let's show you what it looks like. Now, I show you this view of our camera here. As you look out to the east, you can faintly see the Luss Hills in the distance there. That has improved a little bit, but there is a little narrow band of snow just on the Iowa side that's dropping a little bit more. We're at 22 degrees, sustained wind at 33 right now, and that's been the case. There's that little stripe of snow right there, and you can see what that looked like on the camera. We were looking east, and that's what it looks like, and it's the last one hanging on here rolling through the Council Bluffs area, so that's trying to move east, but even some of the bands have really fizzled on the Iowa side. So this part of it starting to break apart for our area, and the bigger story is going to be farther to the east as this system slides in that direction. Up and down I-35 is going to be awful. The farther east you go towards Des Moines, the worse it's going to get. So travel that way, very, very difficult through the day today. Temperatures in the 20s right now. They fall off to about where we expected, low 20s. Now we try to start our climb. The winds, they're howling. They put the wind chills down into the single digits. Latest wind gust up near 60 in Tacoma, 54 in Omaha, so these are still spiking considerably in the 40 to 60 range for the vast majority of the area, but every hour just a little bit less, and you can see the trends for the max gusts here. By 8 o'clock, maybe just spiking near 50. By 11 to 12, we're near 40, and by the end of the afternoon, we're near 30, and then they really drop off once the sun sets. They're all out of the northwest, but every hour, it just gets a little bit better as we march on through this. So what we have here is the snow shower activity moving east. You still got the streamlines here racing in from the northwest, and that's the wind that's going to be rather persistent. Now, as we go into the mid-morning hours, the snow should be out of here, and we'll be dealing with more clouds east, more sunshine to the west. So as we approach the lunch hour, all of these clouds are likely to move off towards the east and out of here. So just gradual clearing from west to east. There you go by noon. For some reason, this is going a little slow for me here, but overall, it's going to be a windy day all the way around as the snow is pretty much done. The clouds move into the east, and we'll try to warm up to about 30 degrees or so for that afternoon high. A little bit better to a little bit warmer to the west, a little bit colder to the east, but you can see 20s on the Iowa side, 30s on the Nebraska side with the river right along 30. That'll be the high today. Then later on tonight, things pretty quiet. Clouds remain out of the area until very early in the morning, I'd say, on Thursday. So we go to 30 for the high today, 38 tomorrow, do some melting, but the clouds will be increasing during the day on Thursday, and you can see a little more red there on that old 3-day forecast.
I do see more red because you have issued another First Alert 6 weather day for Friday.
Yeah, there's more snow on the way with this one. That'll actually try to get started overnight Thursday night, and I think the accumulation will be pretty sporadic, but it's Friday here with 34 for the high. It's going to be a morning and early afternoon round. And you can see the heavier amounts are going to be to the north. 3 to 5 out of this one, 1 to 3 in the metro, less as you go farther south. So that's the story even within the ranges. Probably heavier amounts in Douglas County and Pottawatomie County than what we get in Sarpy County out of this next one in the metro area, and then it goes up as you go farther to the north. So the latest on this, we have more on our website if you want to check this out as well. It's going to be during the morning into the early afternoon. We'll narrow down the time frame as we get a little closer. I think it can consolidate hopefully into like a 6 to 12 hour window, and we can put a start and a stop time on that. 1 to 3 inches of accumulation with higher amounts north, and could have some wind gusts only up to 30 miles per hour this time around. So a little bit better, about half the wind we've been dealing with. There it is for that on Friday. We'll go 47 Saturday, 55 on Sunday. Some models suggest a little warmer there over the weekend.
Okay.
Ultimately, it hinges on where the Friday snow goes, though. 60s Monday, 70s on Tuesday.
Now
so whatever's
we're
out
talking,
there
Rusty.
goes away quickly. There's a lot of melting. You'll see your front yard again sometime next week. But overall, yeah, this one has been mostly about the wind. So far, a lot of 2 to 4 inch, 2 to 5 inch totals in the city. For the few that are able to measure it with the wind, and B, who's like, I'm not going out there. But a few have.
Yeah, a lot of winter in March.
No kidding.
Yeah, a lot of winter.
Can still happen.
All right, Jared, I know folks are wondering what the roads are like. Maria just gave us an idea. You're also tracking conditions.
Yeah, and if you're in the metro, it's kind of a mixed bag depending on where you're driving. If you move outside of the metro, it's not a mixed bag. It's just bad as you're making your way out and about. So let's look at the road conditions map, give you an idea of what you can expect as you're heading out and about. And you're going to see this map, and you're going to see a lot of pinks and a lot of purples. Pinks mean complete coverage of snow on the roads. Purple indicates travel not advised from some of the local authorities. And that is what is being urged from a lot of the local officials, with especially the east-west roads with that wind coming across. You get on some of the outskirts of the metro, that's where you're looking at that really becoming a big factor at play. And when you zoom outside, we're getting more and more of the red showing up in Iowa. That's impassable roads that are in place. That includes I-80 as you get east of about Avoca toward Des Moines is impassable at this point. So you should not plan to go that way, and you can see that travel is going to be difficult really for much of the area as you're heading out the door this morning. So what are we overall looking at as far as issues? Well, I want to give you a view of one of the intersections here where we've been watching. This is at Washington and Highway 370. You can see that there's some snowpack on the road, so that's going to make it a little slick. And then we get some of those gusts that will kick the snow up and blow it over the intersection at times. So that's what you're up against if you're going to be heading out the door early on. We look at the roads, the travel that you're seeing. You can see a lot of oranges and yellows showing up as we start to pick things up. And you're looking at people contending with some of that snowpack on the roadways. So watch for that. You see, start getting onto some of these areas. 275, you heard Maria talking about some of the issues with stalling vehicles that are in place there. We've got crashes on either side of the metro that are causing issues with road closures. That includes I-80 as you go east of the metro. So that's what to expect as we're heading out and about. And we've got all kinds of road closures outside of the metro. You can find all those on our traffic blog, but I'm going to dig a little more into detail on some of the specific places that are closed and what you can expect as far as those coming up.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Jared. Thank you. And due to our extreme winter weather, several area school districts are keeping students at home today. Bellevue, Bennington, Elkhorn, Papillion, several Ralston schools all closed. Those are among those closed. Omaha and Millard Public Schools, along with Council Bluffs, having a remote learning day. UNO and MCC are going remote as well. Peru State starting classes at 11 a.m. UNL also having delayed classes. Metro Transit services are up and running, and they're using Snow Route Option B for 11 routes. 3 of the routes will follow Snow Route Option A. And we spoke with the Nebraska Department of Transportation, whose workers are responsible for clearing the interstate, and they say to stay safe off the roads during blizzard conditions right now. Dozens of plows are positioned throughout the metro to clear the roads for us.
They're saying almost no visibility on this type of storm, which I have dealt with in my career. A lot of times, pretty much the only thing you're going to see are the lights. That could be the only thing they see. And if you see a lot of beacons going on, you probably a plow. Give them room to stay back. Don't try and pass them. And you most likely should be able to get to where you need to go. But if you can stay home tonight.
Meanwhile, Omaha and Council Bluffs waste services are canceled today, along with Papillion Sanitation. This will pick up back one day for the rest of the week. If your trash was not collected on its scheduled day, you're urged to leave it out until it is collected. A reminder, do not leave trash and recycling carts on top of snowdrifts. They won't collect it. Put them in a place free of snow and within 5 feet of the roadway. The city of Council Bluffs also declaring a parking ban along with the cities of Blair and La Vista, while a snow emergency has been declared for Pottawatomie County. First Alert 6 streaming. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, the wind is still blowing, but we are getting signs of some promise this morning.
Yeah, a little bit of sun trying to peek out. The cloud edge isn't too far away, so these clouds are decreasing.
Okay.
Pretty darn quick.
That's
as the
something,
snow
Russ.
moves out. Yeah, that's some good news for you there. You don't see it much on this camera. The snow really starting to fade, though. Now another check, you can see that Luss Hill's a little easier as you look off towards the east. There's that 22 degrees with a feels like temperature of 3 right now. That little band of snow fizzling more and more. This is just clutter on the radar right now, but less and less on the Iowa side. Conditions, at least the falling snow, starting to improve. But what you see right here, look, this right here is the edge of the clouds, folks, and it's almost to wahoo, and it's going to be moving in. There's even a few breaks before that, so that's some good news. I think we're going to get a good amount of sunshine today. Visibility still poor on the Iowa side as the snow blows around and a little new snow tries to fall. Wind chills in the single digits. Those are above 0, so I guess that's better. But 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts still, and just gradually each hour these back off. So the wind gust forecast gets better. 35 mile per hour gusts by 3. They're down near 30 miles per hour by 4 and 5 o'clock, and then really drop off once the sun sets. But hey, we got a first alert weather morning essentially here as things try to improve into the afternoon. 38 on Thursday, and then another first alert weather day on Friday. We'll show you what this looks like. There could even be a few rain showers here. This is midnight Thursday night into Friday morning. And notice how the snow's not incredibly consistent in the metro through the overnight. The steady band is up here most of the night. That's why the totals are going to be bigger to our north. And then through the course of the day, this will drop south. So there still could be some snow on the map by mid-afternoon, but even this I think will be lightening up a fair amount and moving out pretty quickly. So we made it a first alert weather day for middle of the day snow primarily. That'll go 1 to 3 inches in the metro, 3 to 5 farther to the north, and less than an inch farther to the south. So overall, it looks like the bigger totals are north, lower totals are south. Made it a first alert day for another coating on the ground And, well, the snow that falls Friday morning will linger into the afternoon. Gusts to 30 miles per hour will try to whip that around as well. So 38 Thursday, 34 on Friday, and then a nice warming trend. We'll get some melting rolling over this upcoming weekend. It looks a lot better, and those numbers could go warmer depending on just where that heaviest snow track goes on Friday.
You mentioned they could go warmer. I mean, we could see, it's hard to believe it right now, but we could see 70s?
Yeah, it's looking pretty darn likely. One of these 2 days, Monday or Tuesday, bouncing around a little bit. We leaned on Tuesday being the day, with the wind being more of a factor on Tuesday. But even next week, that's a lot of melting, a lot of spring there. No signs of anything all that ominous just yet towards next week. But watch the end of next week to see if maybe that rain changes to a little snow potential. Because remember, it can still snow in March.
Well, we're seeing evidence of that.
So we'll watch that one late next week.
All right, Rusty. The 70s made my day,
There you
I'll
go.
tell you. All right, Jared continues to watch the roads for us this morning.
Yeah, we've got a few specific spots where we're getting road closures that are in place. And so I want to highlight just how things are looking out and about as you are hitting the road. So we are looking at right now on your upper left, you've got the JFK, which actually is looking relatively clear at this point. Watch some of those open areas to see if things start blowing around a little bit. Midtown, you've got some snowpack on the streets. I want to highlight this. This is 144th in West Dodge. You can see how 144th has the snowpack on it. You've got some snowpack on Dodge itself. Getting a couple reports of some slick conditions on Dodge itself in this area. So watch for that, and maybe the possibility that you run into some issues if you're driving along that stretch. Then we've got our established ones. This is Highway 275 northbound near Waterloo, that closed with some of those stalled semis that are in place. A jackknife semi on eastbound Dodge between 275 and 228. We have impassable conditions that are on Military near 132nd with vehicles that are stalling. You're noticing a theme here. A lot of these are right around the outskirts of the metro where you're seeing the biggest issues. You have that more open area, the snow starts blowing around, you get some of the drifts, and you get your problems running in there. So watch for that. We're seeing some delays on I-80 westbound showing up around 84, 72nd. Watch for that at this point. And then as you get outside of the metro, you run into some of those closures. A crash on I-80 eastbound near Avoca has the interstate closed. Still have I-80 closed near Lincoln, and you've got travel not advised in many of those areas outside of the metro as well. So it's best if you can put off travel till a little bit later. We'll get better conditions at that point. Otherwise, take it slow.
For sure. All right, Jared, thanks so much for breaking that down. If you are hitting the roads to the airport this morning, here's a look at flights leaving from Epley Airfield. And there is a lot of red on your screen there. Nearly 24 arrivals and departures canceled. So call ahead or check that out if you have flight plans. New video this morning. A viewer captured this scene. This is right in front of Buffett Middle School. This is off 144th between Maple and Fort. You can see some sparks coming out of this power line. This is thousands of people are waking up this morning without power. Speaking of, here's a look at those power outages across the metro. Combined, more than 12,000 OPPD customers are without power right now. The majority in Douglas County, lots in Sarpy too. There are also more than 2,000 Mid-American Energy customers without power in the Council Bluffs area. And as snow showers makes its way out the metro, local construction companies are preparing for what's to come. We spoke with Ronco Construction at an apartment complex site in West Omaha. The chief operating officer there says they weighed down objects like lumber and drywall so it wouldn't blow around during this winter weather.
We're looking for anything that could be a foreign debris that could fly off from our job site onto the highway, into a building, or just create any type of unsafe hazard.
He is hoping the weather isn't too bad over the next few days, but says if it is, he'll put a pause on work until it's safe. Okay. More coverage to come on First Alert 6 Weather Day. For up-to-date closings and the latest forecast, you can go to our website, firstalert6.com. There you can also submit your weather videos and pictures. And still ahead on First Alert 6 streaming, we'll head back out to the storm tracker with one final look at conditions this morning. All right, welcome back, everybody. We want to head back out to the Storm Tracker to get another look at road conditions this morning. Let's take a look at what Storm Tracker is seeing right now. Right, these roads looking pretty good.
Yeah, it varies a lot. Where you get the wide open, you can get some blowing and drifting over top. So you run into pockets where it tries to be white out a little bit. But again, if you're in a little more sheltered area, you can see things have cleaned up a little bit. Is that kind of what you're seeing, Jarrett?
Yeah, it's such a mixed bag out there. You're running into places like this. You can see even right here, you're getting a little bit of some snow starting to show up. But we're getting some reports of Dodge kind of being a mess as you're trying to make your way 168th, 156.
Okay.
Some slick conditions, maybe a crash. Still working to confirm that. I-80 around 84th has been quite slow with some slick conditions. So use caution if you're heading out and about, because some areas are pretty rough and then other ones you're running into looking like this, where things look pretty good, and then you get into these other ones.
Yeah, you can see that wind has blown that snow back onto the roads there.
Little east-west road, maybe different than your north-south roads.
And that's definitely a factor. You get that crosswind blowing that across.
So we're done with the falling snow. It's all about the wind here the rest of the day. That gradually decreases, though, but just watch out for blowing and drifting here.
All right, for sure. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. If you have to head out, we've said it time and time again, be careful. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air. Have a great day.
Live from WOWT, this is our First Alert 6 weather day.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole. We do want to get right to First Alert 6 weather with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord, who's tracking the latest on our winter conditions.
Yeah, the majority of the snow, it's done. There's a little bit left on the Iowa side right now, but you can see how everything is trending east. And better snows now are Des Moines, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, and eventually over towards Davenport problem. Look a little closer, you can see the snow bands fizzling out a little bit, perhaps a little light snow there. Western Pottawatomie County over towards Oakland and Atlantic, but again, very, very minimal compared to where we've been. This is the bigger story. 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts still. These will gradually back off, but the flags are whipping in the wind here. By the time we get to 5 o'clock, we're talking peak gusts up to about 30, so that gets better, and then they really subside tonight. So not an issue tonight. If you're looking for that good time to go out and clean the driveway, there really isn't one today. It could blow back across. We'll go to 30 for the afternoon high with the sun making its way out here pretty quickly. Let's send it over to Jared. He's got the latest on how the roads are looking.
And we're starting on Dodge eastbound. We've got a semi that's stalled in the middle of Dodge. This is roughly between 168th and 156th. We're going to move on from this camera because I don't want to make you all sick with the bouncing of the camera, but it is definitely slowing things down. You've got slick conditions that are in place right around this area as well. We've got a couple other issues too. Impassable roads, Military near 132nd, and a couple of stalled semis on 275 as you get close to Waterloo. So it's slow out there. You're looking at some issues. Take it slow if you have to travel. Let's check in with Storm Tracker with Maria to see what she's seeing on the roads.
Jared, thanks. We're here at 204th and Dodge, just about to get on Dodge eastbound. The roads here, and what we're seeing across a lot of the other major main roads, is that they are clear. It's looking pretty good for drivers out here as you're making your way out for your morning commute. Just be aware, again, as we've been saying all morning, of that wind picking up and then the snow drifting in front of your car and causing some visibility issues. So take it slow. Give yourself some extra time as you make your way out this morning. We'll be back at 7:55.